Hello everybody. So we are going to go through setting up a 3D print on our uh, shape for 282. You can set up 3D prints this way pretty much no matter what project that you're submitting to the Rapid Prototyping Lab. So this is our shape. We're going to go through the steps using different software. So what I'm going to do is I have this shape. I've already scaled it down. I want to show you guys kind of the steps. So I've scaled it. This is scaled in inches to the proper scale. The 3D printer does see millimeters, so it will have to be scaled in the RP lab. So we will do that with you to make sure it's done correctly. So I have my shape, I've highlighted it, and then I'm going to go to export selected. You do not want to do a save as, so I'm going to export an STL file for this. So I'm going to do 282. That's good, and then binary works just fine, so we're going to export a binary file. Then I'm going to bring it into another software. It's still exporting. It says successful. I'm going to bring it into another software right here called Cura. This is on your studio machine. You're going to set Cura up. You're going to make sure up here in the upper right hand corner that your machine is set up for a TAS 6. And you don't have to do this every time you set up the job, but for your first couple times, we want you to look over your file to make sure it looks correctly to you when you submit it, because this is exactly what we do in the lab. We're making sure it's done correctly. If you don't see a TAS 6 here, you're going to go to Add Printer, and then you can pick a TAS 6 and then just do the regular controls. Then I'm going to set my material to PLA verbatim, and then I'm going to set my profile to standard. Normally you'll see a window like this to start, but I'm going to change this to custom just because we do some tweaks. Now I'm going to open the project we just created as a STL file, and you can see it comes in super tiny. This is not the scale that we wanted it to be, so it's a little off. And oop, it looks like it's gonna crash on me. Starting a new Cura. Cura takes a while to open. So while that's opening, we're just going to take a little pause. So you can see now that the file has come in. It's super tiny, like really tiny, like a millimeter by a millimeter. So we need to get this scaled correctly. So I'm going to click on the object, and I'm going to go over to the scale option, and I'm going to multiply this by 2,540%. That's the scale factor between millimeters and inches. So we do that. Now we can see our shape. It looks great. Everything looks like it should. However, we're going to go to layer view now over here on the side, and I'm going to go to the layers, and it's slicing it, so it takes a while. So slicing it, it's determining all of its layers as they stack up per layer. So you can see now I have this object, and I have supports on right now, and supports are needed because if I uncheck supports, the supports with the 3D printer, it has to touch the, it can't print on air. The printer has to always be touching the next layer. So we'd have jobs, if we look at this bottom layer here, if I scroll up, some of these parts right over here are printing on air. So we don't want that. We want to make sure that it's printed correctly. So we have to print with supports. The next thing we got to do is we got to make sure that this bottom layer is affixed to our bed. It has to be affixed to our bed. But I think I saw some errors of some parts in here that didn't print or don't look like they're correct. So there's the texture is a little off. So I'm going to bring it into a different software that helps fix 3D printing errors in STL files. So that software is Netfabb. So Netfabb is really great software. I'm going to remove the part that I have right here. So I'm going to have Netfabb open. I'm going to open my project. You can see when I open the project that it gets this exclamation point. That means there's errors in our file. So I'm going to add parts. So now you can see there's some errors here. There's this one, this one, this one, this one. These are small little errors. So we're going to try to attempt to fix those. Hopefully nice and easy. But it doesn't always work easy. Sometimes you have to redraw your object in RHINO to make sure that your parts are correct. So we have open spots. So these are open, maybe duplicate surfaces, open shapes. Everything has to be closed when making a 3D print. So we're gonna, to get us to this window, I just right-clicked on the object and said repair part, and then it pops up this window. Then I say run repair script, and for this one I'm just going to do an extended repair. Sometimes that takes a long time to do, but what an extended repair does is take a mesh wrapper almost and wrap it around the whole object so we get a continuous surface now with our shape. So now it looks great. We get a green check mark next to our repaired part. So now we know that it's a closed poly surface or a closed mesh. So then I'm going to remove the old part. So now I have my object. Everything's good. It says repaired up here. So now I need to export this part as a STL file. It says repaired after it. Great. So I'm going to save that out. Now I'm going to bring that part into Cura. I'm going to remove this part. Put the new part into Cura. That's the new part that you should be sending to the RP lab. So I'm going to have to rescale this to, here we go. So there's our part. Then I'm going to look at, after it gets done slicing here, down on the bottom, the most crucial, like I said before, layer in 3D printing is the first layer, because the printer, it has to be attached to this build plate that you can see kind of grayed out here. It has to be touching that. If it doesn't, it will slide around on the bed. So all of these parts right now, right there, those parts won't stick. As we grow up, it won't stick at all. Only the part that'll stick is right there. So what we're going to do is, because that's floating kind of in space, we're going to add supports. So we're adding supports. Now it's generating. It's got to calculate everywhere. It's got to add supports. That inside shape that you had in here, that's all going to be filled. We could rotate this so it's on its side, so that would be less filled. That's something that we're going to have to play with. It's just you're going to get a different texture on the surface of your object. It won't be as pretty. So now we have our shape. All these lines that you see here on the outside are supports that you have to break off. So we set up the supports at 10% density. The standard is 30, but that makes it really difficult for you guys to break out your supports in the model. So we set it to 10, and then we're setting this to standard speed. So something this big, that's about 3 inches by 2 inches by about 2 inches tall, at standard speed is going to take 8 hours to run. So 3D printing is not a fast process. Now we look at our first layer down here on the bottom. Everything's touching the build plate. As we grow up, it's going to have supports now. So everything is going to print great for our object. So then we're ready to go. You could save this file or just send us the STL file to the RP lab. You're going to want to save that file. When you email it, you're going to print off the 3D print request form that's located on the R drive. Fill out your name, the due date, your email address, your gold account number. When you check this box right here, you have to make sure that your file that you send us, you change your name to this job, because we're going to get so many parts that are named 282 3D print or 3D print 1. We got to make sure that it's labeled your name so we can make sure we're printing the correct one. And then you have to make sure that these dimensions are correct. So we don't know the size of your project. You have to determine this. So if you are in millimeters, you can find that in RHINO. If I have my job here, so in RHINO, this is in inches right now, but I could change my units to millimeters, scale it up, then I can type bounding box, and everything that's highlighted, it'll make a bounding box around it. Then you're going to measure these parts. So this is 50.09 inches tall by 47.5 inches. So we are going to put these numbers into our STL request form. Then the next thing you want to do is supports. So if you have any overhangs, you want to put supports, and then we're going to print these at standard speed. Then you're going to buy Gizmodork's white filament. You're going to get 1/4 of a spool from Larry. You're going to buy 1/4 of a spool. That will be enough for this project and any mistakes that you have in it, because sometimes you have to print them twice. And then you're going to print this off in the RP lab. Come in, make sure you email us now your 3 STL file to the RP lab. You can you could save this 3MF file. You could send us this, but make sure you change the name to the correct name, and then I could save that and you could send that to the RP lab. And that's all you need to do. And then you come down to the RP lab. It's $2 to get your print started, and we'll get it loaded up. We are going to print about 6 of them on a build, and we'll be printing them all the way up until your final review before that's done. So if you're waiting for your job, you can just come down and check, and we're going to print when available. Okay, thanks.